morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. Happy Monday.
Oh gosh, it's Monday. 3rd of July, I can't believe it. We're in July. My kids have got one more week at school. This is their last Monday to Friday, and then they're off for like 9 weeks.
Gosh. See,
Help.
mine have still got another 3 weeks at school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they don't break up till, well, they've got this week, next week. Yeah, and the following, they don't break up till like the 22nd or something like that. So I'm really lucky, actually.
You are, because I don't know what we're going to do, because I said before, I'm going to LA next Monday, and that's the first Monday to Friday of the holiday, so I don't know what Paul's going to do with the kids. I mean, I've made sort of loads of different suggestions. He's like, oh, you know, it's fine, but I'm sure...
And he could maybe try and bring them over to me for one day, like, and then obviously mine will be at school, but then they can have the evening and...
Yeah, we could do that. We could sort it out.
Yeah, we'll work something out.
But yeah, mine break up this
Friday.
Friday.
Break it up for them.
It is literally about 9 weeks they get off. It's like, and I actually haven't booked anything. I don't know what we're going to do.
Thing is, it's so hard, isn't it? Because when you're working as well, like you can't just take 9 weeks off work. And obviously so many parents are in this same position. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the summer holidays. I love being out of routine. Like, I really enjoy it, and I do think the kids really need that break. I think it's lovely, but I think 9 weeks is next level. Like 6 weeks for me is perfect.
Yeah.
9, that's a lot. It's like over 2 months.
I need a holiday home, so at least you can just like get a flight the day they break up and just stay there all summer.
Well, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? But then again, it's work and stuff, isn't it? Like, you can't be away.
You'd have to sort of fly in and out maybe, but...
Yeah, that's true. That would be great. That would be ideal. But,
or I could just get a swimming pool and then...
And then they're just entertained.
Yeah.
That's it. If we get the weather, then it's nice.
Yesterday, let's talk about yesterday.
Oh, yes. Let's tell everyone what we've been up to. So we actually did our podcast on stage live for the very first time at a charity event, and I think it actually went pretty well. Do you?
I think we was a little bit like sort of apprehensive, maybe a little bit nervous, because being on stage, you know, there was about 600 to 700 people there as well, so it was actually quite a big number,
big audience, yeah,
big audience. And obviously Billie and I were there for the charity Oasis, so. And there was other people there as well, other acts, loads of stuff going on, like a mini festival. So obviously not everyone is coming there to see us. So we felt like, it could be a bit of a tough crowd. Like, we just wasn't sure how it was going to go. But actually, once we was up there and on that stage, I think it flowed really well. I really enjoyed it. I think we had a laugh. And you know what? I think people that maybe didn't listen to the podcast were actually still quite engaged in our set.
In our chat.
Wasn't they? In our chat, yeah.
I think as well, like It was a really good experience, because if we do go on to do live shows,
tour,
which obviously would be amazing, then I think that's kind of given us like a little nudge to do it, because I actually really enjoyed it as well. Like afterwards I thought, that wasn't actually as bad as what we'd built up to. Like we was like practicing, wasn't we, before?
Yeah, we done like loads of run-throughs. It was only the opening bit we done loads of run-throughs for, because once you're into it and you're in a flow, it's a bit easier. But actually it went fine. Like, it went quite smooth. And actually, before we went up onto the stage, I went to the toilet quick. And as I was running back, these 3 ladies grabbed me and they was like, "We're here to see you and Billie. Like, we love the podcast." And it was like really, they were like really encouraging. And you know, you're like, oh, that's actually really nice to hear. Because I actually just wasn't sure how many people might have been there for us. Do you know what I mean? Because you just, there was so much going on. And like, we was obviously like a small part of the whole event. And, but actually, it was really nice to hear that. And then thinking ahead of a live show, obviously, if we done a live show, those tickets would be sold to like basically our listeners. So everyone would be so engaged at a live show. So it would be totally different. It would be much more of a hype, because everyone, you know, is actually coming to see us, rather than that festival being a mixture of things, you know?
Yeah, because when we was on stage, like there was obviously a lot of people that would like watching, but then there was also loads of other stuff like rides, food, drinks, loads of other stuff going on. So it was
exactly. But no, it was really good. And obviously, thank you for people that did come. I think they raised lots of money and we had a really good time. Then Billie and I went for dinner afterwards, had a good catch up. Because I haven't actually seen you in ages. When was the last time I saw you?
I know.
Like, physically. We can't even remember.
No.
It's not Elton John, is it?
I think it might have been. I think it was.
This is what I'm saying.
Elton.
So it was nice to actually have a catch up after, didn't we? We had some dinner. And then we got a cab home. Well, dropped me off, then you went home. It was quite late though. I texted you this morning saying, did you sleep? You was like, yeah, I definitely slept.
I know, I did. I fell asleep for about half an hour and then I woke up and I was back in Brentwood. And I literally got home, got straight into bed. Then like me and Samantha was laughing this morning. It was like 6 a.m, wake up with the kids.
Oh.
Like,
do you know what? Actually, was surprising. I got home and I actually watched Love Island. I don't know how I done it, but just a little bit of a wind down, I think.
Are you really into it?
Not really, but I'm watching it. It's not my favourite series, but I don't know why, because I actually don't watch any telly. I don't watch any Netflix. Don't watch any soaps. But I don't know why the last sort of couple years I do watch Love Island. It's just a little bit of an easy watch. You don't have to get too involved. It's just... Paul's not watching it. The last one he watched was not last summer, the summer before. But anyway,
Greg loves it.
Yeah, I am watching it.
Like,
it's okay.
Do you know
it's picking
what?
up, but like it's nearly the end, I think, and it's. I don't think it's been the best series. Do you know what it is? I think with Love Island, I feel like in the interview process they give it their all. Obviously, they're obviously trying to get through the final rounds, but then I guess when you're in there, it's a total different kettle of fish because you're in a different environment, you're amongst all different kinds of different personalities, and the days are long, I guess, aren't they? So I do feel like what they give in their interviews might not actually be that person, 24/7.
Right, so listen to this.
Yeah.
Actually, I know this is totally different, but like with Love Island, for example, right, you're put in this place, in this environment, you've got no choice but to kind of like make friends, like, build relationships, whatever. And do you know what else as well with Love Island? They don't know the time in there.
You don't in Big Brother either.
That must be like must be weird.
You go to bed and it's like blackout when you go to bed, like literally. I'm just speaking of Big Brother. I don't know about Love Island. Actually, I know a little bit about Love Island because Francesca told me. I'll tell you. So you go to bed and then it's literally blackout. And then in the morning they wake up. The lighting in the Big Brother house was awful. It was like, hospital lighting, those like slats,
like ultra,
like those big square, like office,
like what you get in schools as well.
Yeah, like those office lighting, and it's like white light. It's not like so. Anyway, and it would go bing, and the whole house would light up. But it was some days. Like sometimes you might see people with sunglasses on inside the Big Brother house. It's because it give you a headache. Like the lighting actually would give you a headache.
But that's what they do in Love Island as well in the morning, don't they? They put the sunglasses on. It must be the same sort of thing.
Yeah, because there's no windows in the bedrooms.
So this is a really stinks.
It does, like
this. I bet it does. Loads of different bodies.
Yeah.
So this is like really a random thought that I had. So I had a work trip. I was shooting my In the Style Swimwear collection last week. We went to Mallorca for 2 days. So on the way home, I basically it took 11 hours in total for me to get home.
I thought you were going to say you was on the flight of one of the Love Islanders that had been dumped or something.
No, this is so funny, so random. So basically we get on it wasn't funny at the time. So we get on the plane and I was actually flying on my own. Well, the film crew were there, but they were further back on the plane, and I really don't not like I wasn't, but I got to the airport on my own because they had to go really early to check all their stuff in, whatever. I was actually meant to get a later flight back that day. What I did, I changed my mind. I thought, no, I'm going to get back in the morning because then the kids, I'll get to see the kids and they won't feel like it's like I'm away for another day. So booked a new flight, get on the flight, sit on the runway for 6 hours, right? 6 hours on the runway.
That is so
and
painful.
It was like, I mean, thankfully, I was sat at the front, like right at the front of the plane, and I was sat next to a couple. They were so nice, like got chatting to them, really nice, really friendly. They actually lived in Ongar, so we was chatting away.
Gosh, 6 hours. I bet you used to become best mates at the end of it.
Yeah, no, honestly, they bought me a cup of tea.
Oh,
like this
nice.
was when we took off, because basically, so they wouldn't give anyone like
refreshments.
They would only serve water. So we're sat on the runway for 6 hours. Anyway, eventually they get everyone off back into the terminal, wait for another 2 hours. But you think, oh my God, we're going to be here all night.
Oh no.
People were kicking off on the plane. Like it was kicking off. Like it was like.
Was there any kids on the flight?
There was quite a few kids. I felt so
That's
sorry
the only
for people
thing
with kids and babies
that I think of is the babies and the kids. Like that flight's only a couple of hours at most, right? You don't really prepare. 2 hours. You don't prepare for 8 hours worth of food and snacks if you've got a baby.
No.
So what would they do in that situation then? Like I wouldn't take 8 hours worth of stuff for Edward on a 2-hour flight.
Surprisingly, I mean, I don't know further back up the plane, but surprisingly, I didn't see a lot of people like parents kicking off being like, oh, we need snacks or this, that, because I was thinking the same. Like I'd be like going out of my mind thinking like, oh no, the kids are hungry. Like, what do we do? Like they literally wouldn't, the only thing they would sell people is bottles of water.
That's ridiculous.
Nothing else.
Like, why couldn't they just
really
give you what they had and say, like, we've got this, make an announcement? Mind you, it might have been a bit of a free-for-all.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah. But no, it was like if you could have seen the speculation, like people, as it got to a couple of hours in, people started getting frustrated, walking up, what's going on? No one's telling us anything. The pilot was a lady. She was really nice. Like, she was just like, like when you think, like, obviously it's really frustrating. There was this one lady that I met, felt really sorry for her. She was missing. So basically it was her son's prom that evening.
Oh,
and she had all of him and all his friends coming to theirs. They was doing all like pre-drinks, like they was getting the Hummer from theirs to the prom.
That is so
sad. Her husband, I know, like there was all different scenarios. It's almost like that film Sliding Doors.
Yeah.
Like if you catch the train, your life could be so different if you miss it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was just really like everyone's like stories but it was mad. Like I met so many different characters on this plane, on the flight, because in the end everyone was having to like
it's like being like stuck in a lift and then you end up just all chatting and giving each other your life stories.
No, honestly, that was it. It was like I did meet some like all different types of people and stuff.
Did you exchange any numbers?
No, I didn't exchange any numbers, but the couple that I sat next to were really nice. They were telling me all funny stories and
I'm gonna sneeze.
Yeah, I got on with them really well, so it made it a bit easier.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Sorry.
So I thought, there's me thinking I'm doing like a good thing coming back early, and then it completely backfired on me. Oh, it was a nightmare. Got home, and then Saturday, didn't get home till about 10:30, 11. Saturday, I felt like I had jet lag. Like I felt like I'd done a long haul.
We basically did.
Was,
that was basically a long haul.
A long haul flight. I was like, I could have gone to the Maldives in that time.
And back.
But and back. That was a bit of a shame.
Well, do you know what? The only good thing you can take from that is you was on your own for one, so you can
absolutely. That's all I could think about. Any of the kids. When I sat there. I didn't say one thing. I didn't ask anything the whole time because they was getting it from all angles.
Yeah,
people, no, but then like they opened the door, so there was letting air in the plane. Oh, people were getting off. People were like, oh, it was just at one point it was like carnage. Like people were kicking off. Like
it's because you're like confined to such a small space as well. Like your seat and your seat only. Like you get claustrophobic, don't you? Then you get like angry and you're hungry, you're tired,
frustrated.
Oh. Dehydrated.
Yeah, and then loads of people decided to get off the flight. The pilot was like, well, we can't keep you on this, it's against, it's your own, if you want to get off, you can get off. And then they had to start searching for all people's luggage in the hold.
It's just a knock-on effect, isn't it, for everything?
It was basically. And then there was something, we went to take off, and we was on the runway about to take off, and then they pulled the plane round, and it was basically something wrong with the plane. It was just one thing after the other. Anyway, made it home after that. Had a nice weekend.
What a shame that you changed your flight.
Honestly, I couldn't write it.
It's really funny because remember we was talking last week about like on Instagram now, and you look at reels and stuff, and you're like, oh, am I like quite old now? Like when, I don't know, like, do you know, like our age, when we was younger, it felt like the 30-year-olds are really old. Do you know what I mean? Like when we was teenagers.
Yeah, like they felt like adults.
Yeah,
like we didn't feel like adults.
No, it was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, they're in their 30s. Like, gosh, it's so old. Anyway, so there's a few things actually that will make us feel really old. Are you ready?
Yep.
Beyonce's Crazy in Love came out 20 years ago this year.
Oh my God. I remember that video.
Yeah. That felt like a few years ago we was dancing around the lounge to that on MTV.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
And remember the music video as well to that when it come out.
Also Cry Me a River, Justin Timberlake, 20 years ago. The Rugrats would be in their 30s now. So we used to watch the Rugrats.
No way.
They would be the same age as us.
That is hilarious.
Friends ended 19 years ago, like ended.
No way. Nelly is a huge Friends fan, and it's her birthday this weekend coming, and we're having a Friends themed birthday party.
That's great. That's brilliant.
So I know, like I said to her, like, should we do a theme? And she, first of all, she said no, and then she was like, oh, actually, yeah, could we do a Friends theme? And I thought, first of all, like, well, that's going to be a tricky one. She's challenged me with there because I love the kids' birthdays.
But how nice, though, that it's different to anything you've ever done before.
Yes, completely different. And obviously, like, we work with kind of like a regular team of people that help out with the kids' parties. And when I spoke to like a few of them, like they was like Friends is in the show. I was like, yeah. And then when you go on Pinterest,
there's loads of ideas.
Like, online, there's so many ideas, and also so much you can get, you know, like just that will make the party seem very like Friends.
Yeah, that's great. Oh my gosh, she's going to have the best time.
Yeah, so.
And she's doing that with her
I'm really excited.
horse riding besties, isn't she? She's got all the girls.
Yeah, so they're going to go to the stables in the morning, and then we're going to pick them all up, bring them back here, and they're actually all sleeping over as well. So I'm going to have 10, I've got 10 girls, 10.
Oh my gosh, 10 giggling girls.
10 giggling girls.
Have you got any entertainment for them? Like, what are they all going to do?
I think, well, they're going to, like, the weather's going to be nice, hopefully.
So go swimming.
Just be in the garden, swimming, and then I'm just, like, I was thinking, do I need to get like a DJ or something? But then I thought maybe that's a bit extra. So I'm just going to do music. And
yeah.
I suppose they'll just all, I mean, you can't really get like an entertainer for that age bracket, can you?
No, or unless they would like a bit of pampering or something. I'd like to break it up a bit.
Well, one of the so Tracy, who works at the stables as well, she's like, they're coming, and she's gonna bring all, like, she's gonna do, you know, all the hair. She does all the hair stuff.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like something like that, just to give it a bit more. Then they can all get photos, and can't they, like, with all their
that's hair. A good idea. Maybe I should think of something else then as well that I could try and book. What about like a fun photo booth or something? Put in the garden, the weather's nice. Well, so what I've had made is a big cut. You know, like the Friends, the frame?
Yes.
You know, like the frame on the door? Yeah. So I've had like a giant one of those made.
Oh,
so
brilliant. They can all stand in it for a picture.
They can all stand in it for all their photos. And
wow, that's a great idea. Wish I was invited.
No, I know, I'm really sorry.
It's really funny, but you went, oh, it's Nelly's party.
I mean, listen.
Like, I said, where's what? No.
If you're around and you want to come and give me a hand.
Are you doing it on the Saturday?
Yeah.
I am actually free.
If you want to come and help me with 10 giggling girls.
I am actually free. I'm just thinking. Can't bring all 3 because it'll be too much.
It's going to be eventful.
Oh, that's going to be brilliant. I can't believe she's having an actual sleepover as well. She's going to love it.
She's gonna. So I'm setting up like all the. I'm getting like a lady. She's coming to do all the little teepees.
Oh, what's Arthur doing?
So they're gonna. He's just gonna be at home.
Oh, is hilarious.
He's just gonna be at home, and it's really funny because, you know, Greg's friend Dan. He's really good on the barbecue. Yeah. So Nelly put in a request about 6 weeks ago when we first started talking about that. If Dan can come and do.
Oh,
the
so
food.
Dan's the chef.
Dan's the chef, yeah.
Brilliant. That is so funny.
No, do you know what we should do? We should dress him up as Gunther.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my God, that's what I should do.
Yes.
We should say, can I spray his hair? Like,
Let's get Gunther.
oh my
up.
God, that'd be so
That would
funny.
be
I've just thought of that.
Gunther. Oh yeah, you need to get him a shirt. Look, a bright purple or a bright orange. Look, for example, remember he wears all.
And then shall I get like a white wig? Like a man's wig?
Get a man's white, yeah, and then get him a bright orange shirt. Yeah, that's the most famous, the orange shirt. So it's black jeans, bright orange shirt, and then like a funky tie. That's
I've got to do it. I think Dan will do it as well.
That's
I think he'll be up for it.
hilarious.
Yes, I've got that to look forward to, which will be really fun. But yeah, we'll chat if you want to come. Obviously, we'll chat about it after. But yes, I'm really looking forward to that. And then it's her actual birthday Sunday, so she's going to be quite cute because she's going to wake up with all her friends on her actual birthday.
Oh my goodness, your house on Sunday morning is going to be hysterical. That little girl.
Carnage.
Right, okay, so moving on. We got you guys on Instagram to complete the sentences. So basically we were saying like, I thought I was young until, and this is what you all said, okay? So, I thought I was young until I was shocked by how small the girls' bikinis were on Love Island. It's so true, right? Have you seen some of the girls right on Love Island now? They wear, it's the triangle, but there's underboob. So it's not just like this cleavage bit there. It's also that underbit. Yeah. So like the triangle sits on the nipple.
It's not for me. And obviously I know that is a style of swimwear now that a lot of girls wear. But number one, mine would look like, you know, like mine would be like all lumpy and saggy, like all the way round. Like unless you've got like little small boobs or I don't know, fake boobs. Like it would be like mine would be all like bulgy and like it looked terrible.
I just don't get. I get the cleavage bit, but I just don't get the under bit.
But I really like.
It's almost like it doesn't fit you. Your boobs hanging out.
I really like a nice fitting bikini, like a nice supportive. Could still look sexy.
Yeah, but if you had your underboob like how they have it, some of them on there, I say to you, oh Billie, your boobs are coming out underneath.
Yeah,
But you think that it's by mistake, but no, that's
I
not
know.
it. Right, okay. So next one, I thought I was young until I went out clubbing and everyone now wears trainers. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that
is so true.
It's a strange one.
It's so acceptable now, isn't it? Like a lot of places where you'd have to wear shoes, now you're allowed to wear smart trainers.
Yeah, that is true. Right, you go for it. Next one.
I thought I was young until a few of the younger girls I work with didn't know what a nappy night was. Oh my God, yeah, nappy nights. Remember we used to go to a nappy night in Brentwood at Sam's.
Was it like under 16s?
It's under 18s.
Under 18s. Oh, we loved Sam's under 18s.
Nappy nights. Oh my. Do they still do those these days?
Well, I guess they just don't call it nappy nights, but there must be something for the young ones to dance and have a. I don't know.
I don't think there is.
Really? Yeah, you might be right.
I don't think there is.
But
yeah, nappy nights.
You know what you need to do on Saturday? Ask a few of the girls and see if they've been to any, because some of Nellie's friends are a bit older, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Some of them are like 13, 14. So that's like the age you want to go to a nappy night.
Yeah, see, they might know. Okay, next one.
Hilarious.
I thought I was young until inputting my year of birth onto a form online, the scroll. That is so true.
That's so true.
I do that daily and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Right. Keep going. I thought I was young until I was looking through old photos of my 13-year-old and she said, what the hell are these? To negatives. Oh my
gosh,
God, yeah. But isn't it like when you actually think of how the times have changed dramatically from when we was young? Like, remember the negatives? Remember you only would have photos if you went and printed it off from your Kodak camera.
And then you'd have those.
Like you got it.
Negatives.
Remember the excitement of like picking up your prints from a Kodak?
Billie,
because obviously you didn't know what.
What was I like? Every week I had a throwaway camera, didn't I?
Every week, and then you used to like print them all off, put them in an album, like that. Yeah, and that's the only thing like I really miss. I feel like because there's apps, isn't there? You can sign up and you get the prints every month. You just add photos on your phone. Because I said to Greg, like, I really want to get round to having like loads of albums, all photos in, so the kids can actually look through them because that's so much fun, isn't it?
We
used to love doing that.
I know, and I still do. Like if ever I get my photos out, I'm like, oh, I love a photo, like holding a photo. So much better
So
on your
true.
phone. I thought I was young until I see young girls out and think they need a coat on. That's so true. That used to be us, didn't it?
Right, can you remember the story, Samantha? This is when we was living in Spain at the time, and we come back and we were staying with Nanny and Grandad, and me and you was going out. We was going to Chelmsford, I think. We was getting on the train.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I do remember
Nanny
this.
and Grandad, it was like middle of winter.
Yeah.
Nanny and Grandad were like, you know, you got to wear coats, and it was like, it's that thing of like where you think it's really uncool to wear a coat.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to ruin my
apparently
outfit.
it's much cooler to be freezing.
Yeah.
So I remember we got to the train station, and I remember I actually ditched my coat. You remember I threw it in the bin.
I do remember this.
I rolled up my coat and threw it in the bin. Like, how ridiculous is that?
So stupid, like the things that you do.
So
when you're that
stupid.
age.
Like, why?
There's nothing you can really tell a girl or boy at that age, like with things like that. Like as an adult now, it's like that's ridiculous. But like
I know.
at that point in your life, you think you know what's best and you're right. Do you know what I mean? It's funny.
It's all like part of growing up, though, isn't it? Like we've got all this to come. Like it's so silly, and like as an adult, you do think that is so ridiculous, like that thought process. But actually, it's just when you're young, you just think you're invincible and you're always right.
I know. Idiots.
I know, stupid, really.
Should we go on to a dilemma?
Yes.
Go for it.
I just found out I'm pregnant with my fourth. An unexpected gift from the stalk. I really want to tell my other kids in a cool way. I love the way you told Nellie and Arthur with the card from the bump. But what can I write that is simple enough for my eldest, who is 8, to understand and read? Or do you have any other cool ways to tell them? Oh, that's congratulations. By the way. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. So it is lovely that you can reveal something to them when they're old enough, like, and they can find out. Obviously, I did the letter, so I basically put an envelope by the door saying to Nellie and Arthur, and I was like, oh, there's something at the door. And I was like, oh, it's got Nellie and Arthur's name on it. And then we obviously sat down. And I do think it's really important to try and record it.
Yeah.
Try and set the phone. That's what I did it. Actually, no, Mum was there, so Mum recorded it. I just wrote, I'm trying to think, I've got the letter somewhere. I actually wrote, like, Dear Nellie and Arthur, I think I kept it quite simple. It was like, you haven't met me yet. I'm in Mummy's tummy. I'm your new baby brother or sister. I can't wait to meet you. Lots of love, baby bump. I kept it really simple.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I feel like that's a really nice way. What other ideas could we suggest?
Or maybe you could like get a recording of a scan video and like play it on the telly and be like, I've got something to show you or something, you know, like, and you can see, because an 8-year-old would understand if you can see like the actual baby at that stage, can't you?
Well, you say that, it's hilarious because remember, so the way I told Dad, I was flicking through a book and I put the scan picture in the book and I showed him, went like that and opened the next page and he went, what's that? What's that? I was like, he's like, what is it? What is it? He didn't even know what a scan picture looked like. But actually, yeah, I mean, most people would.
What's that?
But yeah, I know.
But sometimes people, when you do announce a pregnancy to people, like one-on-one, it is a shock factor thing. I think it's almost like you know what it is, but then, like, I mean, I would, but like Dad, like I could understand that he probably knew what it was, but there was this like a bit of shock kicks in. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like it's quite a big thing.
It's a really big thing. It's a huge thing. Yeah, I think the letter's quite nice. Or like what you said, like making like a little video and then showing
them, or let's do a movie night, get popcorn and all sit on the sofa like you're going to sit down and watch a movie and then make a little video sequence up or something, and then at the end put the scan video or something. That could be quite a good idea.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Right, okay, so we are on to Ask Us Anything. Okay, so first one, what do you both eat in a day? I mean, mine varies every single day.
Oh, mine varies. So far today, I've had 2 slices of toast and a digestive biscuit.
So So healthy.
I'm trying to think of an average day for me. So in the mornings, I usually will have, like those little thin bagels.
Yeah, we love them in this house.
So I love breakfast. Like, I do need breakfast in the morning. Like most mornings, I do just grab like a bit of toast or the thin bagels with peanut butter on.
You love peanut butter in your house.
I love peanut butter or Marmite. And for lunch, I usually would have like a pita with like ham, cheese or chicken or salad or a wrap. Again, varies. And then I'm a snacker.
Graze.
It's really, I pick.
Me too.
I graze. I love like a savoury snack. I love a pretzel. What else? I love a tea and biscuit. In the afternoon, I love a pretzel. In the afternoon, I always need a bit of sugar. So I might have something like a cup of tea, 2 biscuits. And then dinner, I always, 9 times out of 10, always cook home cooked meals. We all sit around the table together. That's really important for me. Like I love cooking everyone. We all sit down. And it could be anything like spaghetti bolognese. It might be kids love chicken wraps.
Yeah.
Like fajita night.
We love a fajita.
Yeah, I don't really, to be honest, after I have dinner, that's sort of the last thing. Not very often. Like sometimes I might have like a bit of chocolate.
I don't have dessert. The kids do.
No, the kids do. Yeah, I'm not really much of a dessert person.
I might have a tea and biscuit in the evening, like as a last thing. But I don't really. Occasionally, I might like join them for an ice cream or something, but I don't. It's not like every day.
What do you normally have for breakfast?
So mine, I'm obviously at the moment I've been having a bit of a flare up recently. It's stemmed back from since it's been in New York, so it's been about a month. So flare up with my Crohn's, and the best way to keep that under control, the most effective way to keep that under control, is just to follow an anti-inflammatory diet. So I do have to avoid things like gluten, bread. I can't eat my thin bagels at the moment. I will. I do introduce it again, but at the moment I just need to let my stomach settle back down again. So, like for example, this morning. I did have a coffee, but I had the like the mushroom coffee, like the nootropics one, not like a caffeine one.
Oh, I've got that.
Yeah, they're really good, and they're actually like really good for like focus and stuff.
Say that, ma'am. Sorry, one sec. I've just got to quickly grab Margot.
Sure.
One sec. Little sugar dumplings join in.
Oh, my darling, look at you. Oh, I really want to see her. I think I might actually try and come over the weekend. Hello, sweetie.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, look at looking at you. Right, okay, so quick. Yeah, so I had that this morning, and then this sounds really boring, but I actually do like a boiled egg. So I had 2 boiled eggs with loads of salt, crushed up an avocado with lemon and salt.
That's giving me lunch inspo.
I love like loads of lemon, loads of salt, loads of pepper to make it really flavour,
Chili?
I didn't do chili this morning actually, because chili can be a bit of a, not like a red flag, but it's not the best. Like, it's not like as bad as eating gluten, and I have no idea what I'm having for lunch yet. And again, it's just that thing. I'm like, basically, and I love bread. I love pizzas. I love wraps. So it's all that stuff I can't have at the moment for the next few weeks, really, until my stomach settles again.
Do you know what? So we're going away in the summer, and I've got like 6 weeks. I feel like I do want to try and get into shape, and
if you followed an anti-inflammatory diet, you would literally you would feel amazing.
The hardest thing for me to cut out is bread.
Gluten. Yeah.
Everything else, potatoes, pasta.
Potatoes is fine though. It's just it is the
and also you do need to have some carbs. Like you can't survive.
But you know what though? Do you know what it is though? If you made your own bread, or if you was getting a sourdough or something in it from a baker's that's freshly made, what it is the supermarket bread. They don't make it how they used to back in the day. Even when we was kids,
it's full of chemicals.
It's not made how even when we used to eat it, like in the 90s. Sounding old again. Yeah. Like, it's so different now. Like, it's laced in so much shit, basically. So it's like okay to eat bread, but I think make sure you're either making it at home, which obviously is, mind you though, it is easy now. Like, you can get a bread making machine and you literally put it in, like, the stuff, and it makes it for you. And it's like, I had one. I don't know where it is. I think it's in the garage.
That would be the dream, but it's just not realistic for me. I'm never going to do it.
I know. But it is quick. Like, you actually have to do anything. I think you add the packet of whatever you're using. You could get like an organic brown, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you pour the packet in with the water, and then the machine does it for you. Right, okay. So I know you have Margot and your hands are tied. Let's carry on the Ask Us Anythings next week.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
It's lovely to see you. Margot, Auntie loves you.
Hey, bye, Auntie.
I love you, Margot. I love you, darling.
See you later. Bye.